Hello everybody. This is Monty with Flowers by the Bunch. Today we are going to work on a Thanksgiving centerpiece. Thanksgiving is just around the corner, and I thought we would make a pretty arrangement in a dough bowl for Thanksgiving. So these are brand new here in our shop. We are just about to list these on our website. This is just a round dough bowl. I'm not exactly sure the dimensions, but we're going to get this on the website. It is going to be what we're going to make our arrangement in. Now, I do have a dish. This is just a design bowl. We order these from our wholesaler. Very inexpensive green design bowl. You don't have to use a design bowl. You can use anything that you have at home that will hold water, and it will not ruin your bowl. So, or your dough bowl, your wooden bowl. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some fresh floral foam. So I have foam that has been soaked. Now, I want to clear up. I had someone reach out and say, that foam does not look right. It does not look soaked. This foam is not Oasis brand. It is called Thirsty Foam, and it's by a company called Ludwig. It is a little bit of a different color. Anytime I ever use fresh floral foam, it is always soaked. Flowers are not going to last. Honestly, you're going to kill them pretty quickly if you do not soak your floral foam first. So it is always soaked. So if you ever are in doubt that floral foam is not soaked, it is. I promise. I am not going to use it if it's not. And again, this came, sorry. I'm taping that foam in. This foam came from a company called Ludwig, and we really like it. It works great. It's a really great price. So it is soaked fresh floral foam added into my design bowl or any dish that you have. It does have a reservoir, so it will hold water, which is wonderful. I am going to use some fall toned flowers. So I'm going to start out with a little bit of leather leaf, I think. So this is just fresh leather leaf fern. I am going to take it and kind of come all the way around my bowl. And you can see I'm kind of leaving my stems longer. Pull my trash can around. Longer. My bowl, my design bowl with my floral foam does not fill up the entire space, obviously. But it's completely okay because you are going to be able to leave your stems of your flowers a little bit longer, and they will fill up the bowl. Alright, so there's my little bit of leather leaf. I've got it done just like that. Next I'm going to come in. I've got other pretty foliages. Let's see. Some eucalyptus, and this is waxflower and solidago. I have parvifolia eucalyptus. So I was just going to take it and break it into smaller pieces and kind of come all the way around. Now I want this to be a lower arrangement. I don't need it too tall because if I were going to use it for a centerpiece, I want you to be able to see over it. So I'm going to leave it a little more compact, shorter and compact than what you can do in this arrangement for a centerpiece. Now you could absolutely add into this container, you could add some pumpkins, you could add any type of gourd, which would be so pretty and perfect for a Thanksgiving centerpiece. Feel free to use any type of greens. You can go out and cut some beautiful leaves if you wanted to. So I kind of went all the way around with my eucalyptus. Now, before I add in the aganis, I'm going to add my flowers. So I do have some beautiful heart roses. So these are red heart roses. They are my favorite red rose variety. It's because they have a really large head and they have a large petal count. So they open up just like a garden rose. So I'm taking my floral knife and I'm coming down that stem to remove any of those thorns. I'm going to take this rose and I'm going to turn it upside down and I'm going to open it up. So I'm just rolling it back and forth in my hands, and you can see how the petals begin to open. And I'm going to put my fingers right inside those petals and kind of lift them open. See how pretty and open that rose is? Take your knife, cut that at an angle, press it right down into that floral foam. Go ahead and remove any of the petals that don't look pretty. If they're bumped or bruised, go ahead and pull those right off. I'm going to remove the thorns before you roll that in your hand. Turn that over and just roll it back and forth in my hands. Ooh, some of those petals came loose. See how pretty and open? And I think I have about 6 of these roses. Now this is a darker red rose, but I really like the fact that it's kind of a deeper red. We have our college here is Mississippi State University, and they have maroon and white are their colors. And so that's why it's really nice to have this heart rose be a deeper red, because it works really well for maroon. Remove those thorns. Roll it back and forth in my hands to open those petals a little bit. Now, you often see me wire roses. These are all pretty low in this container, so I am not wiring it. Look how beautiful that is. I have not wired these roses, but I do often wire roses. Next, I'm going to come in. This is called Trichilium. I love it. It's a really deep purple color. So pretty. I like these deep jewel tones for Thanksgiving. But really, any autumn colors work. So if you don't necessarily love purple with your fall tones, you do not have to use it, but I just think it's so lovely. Now, it also has these little tiny pieces that were on the stem. And so I'm going to take those and cut those and kind of work those throughout this arrangement. But you can see how I'm leaving. This is a small container that I put these flowers in. I mean, it's much smaller than the bowl, but you can see how I'm able to fill that container up with my flowers just by leaving those stems just a little longer. I have another stem of that Trichilium. I love that deep purple. It's so pretty. Okay. Next, we're going to come in. Let's see. We've got these beautiful tiny sunflowers. So these sunflowers, Mary, my sweet friend, Mary Dowell, she has a farm where she grows fresh cut flowers. And every year at the end of her growing season, I get all the leftovers. And so I love leftovers, and these are some beautiful, they called them a plum sunflower, but they have a pretty autumn coloring to them. And they're tiny, sweet little sunflowers. So I'm going to take those and leave their stems a little long and tuck those right into that floral foam. They're so sweet. Now, often I have never gotten sunflowers this tiny from Budsy. Usually we like a medium size, but these are precious in her little bouquets, and I love the color. And they're really fun to work throughout this arrangement. Look at that one with those beautiful leaves. I'm going to leave the foliage on there because it just is so pretty. And it's so fresh. They're so sweet. Look at that tiny. They're so tiny. Okay, so there are our little sunflowers tucked throughout our arrangement. Again, here is the bowl itself. So you see it's a fairly small bowl with our flowers all the way through. And then there's our dough bowl. and it just sits right in the center. Next, I'm going to come in with a few of these orange Babe spray roses. I thought this pretty pop of orange would give us a little bit of a pop. Everything seems almost toned down, so I thought I would take some of these bright orange, pumpkin orange spray roses and tuck them throughout. I'm taking any of the longer stems of the roses and cutting those off of the main flower and tucking those deep. If their stems are long enough, it works out really great that you can use them like this. See how I'm able to pull off all of these individual flowers because their stems are so long. That's what's fun about working with more of a centerpiece type. You can use shorter stems and it feels like you have more flowers than on average if they're shorter, more compact arrangements. So I'm just taking each of those stems, remove any of the leaves. Leave as many leaves on them as you possibly can, but if you have to remove them, go ahead and just pull those off. It's not hurting anything. All right, so there's our really pretty orange spray roses tucked in. If you had beautiful fall leaves, it would be fantastic to put some fall leaves in there. Next, we're going to come in with some Scabiosa flowers. So, if you remember, we had a kitty cat that lived up here at the flower shop. He has passed away, but his name was Osa, and he was named for this beautiful flower. And so, we're going to use some of these beautiful lavender Scabiosa flowers. I'm going to take them, cut that stem. I don't need the stem anywhere close to that length, but look at how beautiful these Scabiosa flowers are. Now you can get Scabiosa in pods also. They're kind of a really fun pod.
Call from.
Really, and this is just a bud, and I'm gonna leave those buds just a little bit longer, just kind of sticking up here and there in our arrangement. This Scabiosa and all these flowers came, except the small sunflowers, came from a company that I use called Budsy. I absolutely love all of the flowers we get from Budsy. They are a farm direct floral provider, and so we order all of our flowers in bulk, and I tell you, I have never been happier. Just beautiful, beautiful flowers. So if you ever have any questions about where we get our flowers or how we do things here at our shop, you are so welcome to ask. We are so happy to answer any of your questions. We really love that, actually. Okay, Scabiosa flowers are in place. Next, we're going to come in with a little Solidago aster. If you were to ask me what is my most used or favorite filler flower, I would say Solidago. Now, I do love wax flower, and I'm going to use a little bit of that, but an everyday wonderful staple in your shop is Solidago aster. It's just hardy. It lasts for a long period of time, and it will go in any arrangement. It paints really well, so if ever you needed it to be a different color, you can absolutely paint it. So I'm just taking this one stem, and you can see it has kind of long stems, so I'm just breaking it up and tucking it here and there throughout the arrangement. I love that trachelium. It's hard to see. It's that deep, deep purple. And purple is so receding in an arrangement. It is so pretty. I love the texture. It's just pretty. Okay, there's our yellow Solidago kind of throughout. Next, we're going to come in with some tinted wax flower. Now, wax flower does not naturally come in this color, but this is so beautiful. Look at this pretty red. Wax flower usually comes in pinks and whites. And purples. It doesn't normally come in bold colors. But we order it in the fall, and it's tinted in oranges and reds, and sometimes it's got even everyday colors like hot pinks and purples. It's really been fun this season to work with. So I am taking one stem of this wax flower, and just like my Solidago, I'm taking it and breaking it into smaller pieces and tucking it throughout this arrangement. I'm trying to move things so it's easier for you to see. But I'm just taking that wax flower and just tucking it all the way throughout this arrangement. So it's so pretty. Okay, and then I have some blue thistle. Now, a lot of people call thistle a weed, and it probably technically is a weed, but it is a beautiful weed. And I really enjoy using things that that are kind of weedy and fun. I love the texture of thistle, and I love its blue color. I'm just taking it just like I did the Solidago and I did the wax flower, and I'm cutting it apart. I am using all of those longer stems and tucking it all the way throughout our arrangement. Just nestle it here and there. I love that pretty blue. All right, so there is our thistle. And to give us just a little bit more movement and a little bit more greens, I am going to add this agonis. Now, often agonis will come in more of a burgundy color. This did not quite color up. I do love its blades and how I love it. Kind of looks like willow, like a weeping willow. It really is very pretty. If you wanted to add color to this, you can absolutely spray paint this greenery. It holds paint beautifully. I'm not going to worry about that. I'm just going to break it into smaller pieces and just kind of tuck it here and there. Give us a little bit of length, a little bit of movement. I really like how greens give movement to an arrangement. And I do think the maroon would have been beautiful, but, and you can see I'm just taking one stem and just breaking it into smaller pieces and just pushing it right into that floral foam. Now, it's very important, guys, if you receive an arrangement that is in floral foam, that you water it daily. And so for this arrangement, the easiest way to water it is I would just pull this dish right out of the bowl, and I'll show you exactly what I mean in just a second. I would just pull this dish right out of the bowl, just like that, and I would take it and put it in the sink and fill up that reservoir with water. Make sure it's dry on the bottom and then set it right back in your bowl. But again, you can use any type of container, anything that doesn't necessarily hold water. You can absolutely line it just like this with a dish, any type of dish that would keep the water off of your container. Place that right into that dough bowl and make a beautiful fall centerpiece. Guys, thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a thumbs up. Let us know that you enjoyed it. If you have any questions about anything we do or any of the products that we work with, you can always ask. We would love to answer your questions. Be sure to subscribe to our channel if you have not already. Hit that subscribe button, and if you'll hit that little bell, it'll give you notifications for when we have a brand new video. Guys, have a wonderful day, and we'll see you soon.